Good evening. Welcome to Stars Align. This is your Tacoma Stars off-season podcast. I am joined by none other than Tacoma Stars head coach Adam Becker. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me, sir. Good evening, everybody.
Absolutely. This one was a natural to get you on because so much has happened over the past 10 days with the Stars. Um, Before we get into that, let's go with the get your season tickets right now. $50 deposit, lock in those seats. Definitely
Yeah.
going to be one hell of a season. There's no doubt about that. Going to be exciting. Probably a different feel than I've had from any other Tacoma Stars team. What you're putting together, fast,
Yes.
fast. I mean, that's Coach had me pick up some players from the airport past week that flew into town for tryouts. And as soon as I saw the list and picked them up, that's what I told him. I said, "This team's quick, speed."
Yeah.
You want to talk about the trials that you had last week? 40 people, 40 players on a
Yeah.
Tuesday night in September at the soccer center. That was incredible.
It was. It was. We've started early in years past as well, but I have to say the overall feel and buzz and just the amount of guys that came out, it's been the highest level of a start that we've had probably in 4 or 5 years since prior to COVID times. So I was really ecstatic about that. To touch on what Pete is saying, we had roughly 15-ish guys fly in from out of state, and then we had another 15 to 20 guys from in-state that myself and Steve Moe, our coaching staff, had been going out and targeting and inviting in and whatnot. So yeah, last week we hit the ground running with 40 guys twice a week, trained, and then it just so happened, we had that beautiful tournament down at the Tacoma Soccer Center, the Joga Bonita 253. And so all the trialists we put on a team as well. So it was something unique that we haven't been able to do before. Usually a guy comes in, you give him a training or two, and it's like, we'll talk type of a deal.
Mm-hmm.
This year though, you got to see the guys twice. Some of them got to live in the team house. They got to interact in the locker room. They got a guaranteed 3 games over the weekend. So we got to see a different side of the athlete than we usually get to, right? Such a short turnaround. So it was just, man, I can't thank the guys that flew in enough. I can't thank Alex and Felipe for putting on that tournament, and just everything
Yes.
last week was absolutely amazing. Lane for, opening up housing and helping out with everything. It's just the way it's coming together and shaping up. It's very exciting. There's a new buzz to it.
Absolutely, and let's talk about one person in particular that was at the two training sessions. We announced him last week. What's the addition of Jimmy McAllister as a team sporting director mean for you as a head coach?
Oh gosh, it's a huge weight off the shoulders in a sense. He's been extremely helpful in his short period of time with us already. And Jimmy, myself, and Steve all know each other. We all go back, and we all kind of um, mix in and out of the same little bubbles, social groups, right, in the soccer world. And what Jimmy brings is just an even more in-depth look to young talent here, with him having Seattle United up north. How attached he is to the Sounders and all the universities and colleges in the area. He is just such an amazing utility, right? And I just couldn't be more excited for someone of his pedigree as well to be on board helping us out.
Now, Stars fans from the '80s will know him. He played uh, for the Tacoma Stars in the Tacoma Dome. He coached the Tacoma Stars in the Tacoma Dome, and if you want to go back even further, he was the 1977 NASL Rookie of the Year with the Seattle Sounders. The year they went to the Cup and played Pele and the Cosmos in the final. So Jimmy McAllister, a welcome addition to the Stars, and you guys will see him around the Assessor Showwear Center this winter. So welcome aboard, Jimmy. Now let's actually get into let's talk about that tournament. Um, $10,000 cash prize, winner take all. Brought out the feistiness in some teams. Basically, two Tacoma Stars teams that wound up playing each other, and you got just as feisty as the other ones. I guess cash makes a difference. Uh, what did you see from stepping back as a head coach with that many players in the building at one time?
Well, it,
What was
it
that like
was
from your perspective?
it was amazing, to be honest, because not everybody will show up to an open tryout. Not everybody will come on your radar for recruiting purposes. But when you have 18 teams of 20 plus guys per team right in your backyard competing for big money, so it's attracting, good athletes. um it was huge. One of the things that I liked the most about it was seeing how many guys we already had in camp on other teams, and other guys that we had already contacted on
Yeah.
other teams. So it was good seeing them getting out there and getting some indoor reps in. But I mean, like you said, we had the old guy Tacoma Stars team. We had the youngsters, and then again, all the trialists that came in, we created a team for. So just from our two trainings on Monday and Thursday, we had three full teams in that tournament, all in the
Yep.
same group that had to play each other multiple times. So it was,
Yes.
yeah, and like the feistiness, I love it. Needs to be more of it there. When you're a competitor and you're that A-type personality, it's got to show on the field, whether it's training, big money tournament. Like, you have to show up to compete at this level. If you're just coming out there to have a laugh and have some fun, the somebody else is going to get swooped up first.
Yeah, they were there to win. That's for
Yeah.
sure. Let's actually talk about the soccer center for a minute, because one thing that strikes me uh, going into the MASL is, I'll say it, the advantage the Chihuahua Savage have on their small field. They built a team that makes them damn near unbeatable at home. They average 10 more goals per game at home than they do on the
Hmm.
road. They're decent on the road, but they're almost unstoppable at home. I saw some players at training that can compete with Chihuahua at the Corner Sport Arena. They have the speed that Chihuahua has, and I'm seeing a Tacoma Stars team that can compete with anybody in any arena. And is that kind of the feeling you have? Are you building a team that can compete against Chihuahua on their mini field?
Absolutely. Um, and I like Chihuahua's field. Yeah, I like their facility, the atmosphere. I love going to Chihuahua. That's one trip that I'm always excited for. And to be fair, with the Stars, I took a point off Chihuahua several years ago down in Chihuahua where we tied them 9-9 after a bad previous
Yes, sir.
night. But, we ended up getting our payback a little bit. And so, yes, with the team this year, um, the game is evolving. The game is changing. You can see it with a Chihuahua. You can see it with Empire. The times are changing, right? So yes, we're looking for a more youthful, athletic team that can get up and down the court, can suffer for defensively minutes at a time if need be, and still be able to possess or break
Right.
out, right? And it should be when you travel to a field like that, or if we get the opportunity to go to Baltimore this year, or when Monterey was in the league, and you get to experience some of these smaller facilities, I think our team should have less issues with the field. And the
Mm-hmm.
issues that you have is going to be more or less of the travel day prior. Traveling out of country with 20 plus guys, and just the issues that brings along. And then the environment. My goodness, Pete, it is, you can't
Oh,
balk, you can't even scream. They can't hear you still. So where they're just going to have to adapt is to that environment. They've got the athletic ability. They're used to the small field game. Now it's match them with pace and tenacity.
so we'll know when we're going to Chihuahua. Hopefully, within the next couple of weeks. The
Yeah.
MASL schedule usually comes out in first week of October, and it seems like it's on pace to do that again. Tacoma
Okay.
Stars last year, far and away toughest schedule in the league, between playing San Diego 6 times, playing Chihuahua 4 times, and probably what makes it difficult The most difficult is the fact that usually you had to go in play Chihuahua on a Friday or somewhere else, Empire on a Friday, and then go play a rested San Diego team in San Diego on Sunday. It'll be really interesting to see what the road schedule is like.
Yeah.
Um, but even though they're not in play this year, let's talk about a closer opponent for Tacoma Stars a couple years down the road. Sacramento coming back to the league. What do you think of that trip?
I was really excited. I saw that get announced. I hadn't heard any rumblings of it, and it was like awesome. We want to see growth in the league. Whatever city it may be in this country or Mexico, we want
Yep,
more, travel. It helps us out. We're like the Hawks. We always got to travel the furthest. But yeah, Sacramento coming back, and it looks like they're working on a beautiful facility down there. I more than ecstatic and more excited to have another team come in and join the league.
absolutely. Keith Tozer, John Raymond, if you're watching this, let's get a team in Portland, Oregon. Two nice arenas, bus trip for the Stars instead of a flight.
Yeah.
We'd love that. Portland's a great market.
Well, and they
So
have a huge futsal uh leagues down there. They have indoor leagues there in Vancouver. They got an MLS side. You've got so many colleges within a stone's throw, great youth clubs. Like they have the population to do so. It's just somebody, stepping up and making it happen.
absolutely, and we would love to see that. Uh, Real quick, let's shift to some recent signings. You've been busy signing players, the ones we can talk about right now. Let's talk about them. Manny Nicasio and Misael Lopez. Tell us about your two most recent signings. They've been with the team. You're familiar with them. What do they add to your roster?
Yeah, so let's go. Both of them got experience last year. Misa probably got the most, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, probably close to 5 to 8 games, and I believe Manny got one. Both great human beings. Both new to the indoor game, both learning. Manny and Misa both came into the reserve team and showed well, so they were able to work their way up. And I think it's just like a showing to how young and how local that we do want to go. We are a hub. Misa, he's from Yakima. He plays for Yakima United in the EPL WA. Manny Nicasio is coming to us from Ole Town. He's played their indoor side, their USL2 side, their EPL WA side, just an Ole Town legend down there. And so part of it with what I'm doing here is trying to work closer with the local clubs, the local amateur clubs, I should say, to where we're getting, more of these young local kids in the mix and giving them that, opportunity that they've been dreaming of since they were little kids. But yeah, Manny Nicasio, lightning quick,
Speaking
never dies, Go
speaking of
ahead,
the
sorry
local
if I was cutting
aspect,
you off.
this is a very no, that's okay. This is a very close knit team. Not every
Yeah.
player in the league will fit it as a piece to this puzzle. Talk about that cohesiveness that you do have in the locker room and the team um, that an outsider, even one of the best players in the league, might not work in this environment. What's it like having a locker room like that?
It's amazing. I love it. The fact is the majority of the guys signed this year have already spent a decade with myself and Steve Moan. They truly came up through the reserve program. If you talk about like Logan Jones, Tyler John, Adrian Correa, Eddie Naw, all these guys, Kyle Rivers, they all came to me when they were about 17 years old. So I was actually talking with one of them today, and it's like the locker room is your guys's now. Like you guys are now not rookies anymore. You're 5, 6 years in. You get to set the standards, and you know exactly what Steve and I want and how we treat it. And it is such a tight knit, cohesive unit. That is what I explain to every trialist coming in. It's like I'm not necessarily worried about how you are as an athlete, but more or less how you are as a human being. And if you're not a good human being or you're here for individual purposes, it's just not going to work out. and that's okay. There's locker rooms for that.
Right.
But here in Tacoma, it's a very special place with a special group. I remember when Nick even came, when he first came, he would even say like, "Man, you Tacoma boys are hard to crack into for a while," and it's like, yeah, we gotta trust you. We gotta, you gotta show us, trust and love and acceptance and so empathy, selflessness. It's just a very tight knit group that I'm so proud of, and I'm still just proud to be a part of.
Boy, Nick sure figured it out though, and he became one of the Tacoma boys when other players tried to come in and break that up. He squished
Yeah,
it real quick. So
I
yeah,
would say
that's
him, Toth, and Canale were the best at it. They came in and it was like, okay, you guys are from here, but you're not. They fit in quite well.
so. With that, with bringing up Chris Toth, obviously, in my opinion, best goalkeeper in the league as far as the stats go over a long period of time. You have a player with the potential to reach those levels in Luis Berrueta.
Sir.
A lot of fans. He was Chris Toth's number two last year. Whenever Chris would take a blue card and have to go off, I mean, this guy come in cold off the bench and stop a shootout or a PK, and he is absolutely incredible to watch. With when he was with the reserves, he
Yeah.
would play. He would start for the reserves and then be on the bench for the MASL games. He got a lot of action over the past couple of years. Uh, how do you see him sliding into the role as the number one guy now, if that's indeed what he's going to be, the number one? Because I know you're still looking at goalkeepers. So, talk a little bit about Luis Berrueta.
Yeah, we're still looking at goalkeepers. We're still looking at everyone, right? Doesn't matter what position you are. And I've had a talk with Luis about it, and he's just another one of those great locker room guys. I basically just asked him, how do you feel about me going out and going after anyone in the league? Whether it's number one, number two situation, he's like, Becker, do it, please. Like,
He
bring
wants to
somebody
win.
in. He wants to win. So it's like our guys are so selfless that they would rather bring in somebody for competition to make them better, to make sure that the organization still wins.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, Luis has been grinding. He played all summer long with Yakima United, TST, a couple other like Moneyball type tournaments. He's dropped some weight. He's looking healthy. He's looking more fit than he has in the past. And I just couldn't be more proud of him. He's putting in the work. So, it's more or less a spot for him to lose type of a deal. Um, and I think he's going to do great things. Like you said, he's come off cold and saved us in a shootout against Chihuahua.
Yep.
He's performed in the games that we've given him. If Chris was sick or beat up a little bit, traveling for beach soccer, he's performed in Chihuahua. He's performed in Monterey. He's performed in San Diego at home. So I'm really excited to see that next step in some of these guys, to see what kind of roles they can fill and who they start to become in their what I would call their earning years, right? Where they can affect a game in a positive way, type of a deal, and take you on a long run.
Let's shift now to the near future for the Stars as I bring up the graphic here.
Yes,
Uh,
sir.
Coming up on the 4th, we have a preseason friendly, still to be determined on that one. But on October 18th, the Tacoma Stars will be taking on South Sound FC. And on the October 25th date, that's going to be a match against the WISL All Stars. Both of those incredible tune ups for the Tacoma Stars. They're going to be at the Soccer Center. Tickets are only $10, and you get them at tacomastars.com/preseason, or go right to the website, click on preseason tickets right on the top of the page, and get your $10 tickets now. What I don't have on there is talk a little bit about October 6th and what you're going to be doing for a possible open tryout.
Yeah, so we're going to hold open tryouts. Depending on registration, we've got a couple different ideas to do. But if numbers are low, I'm going to invite the individuals just straight into a training session. It's part of the issue with like the tournament last weekend or an open tryout is somebody may stand out here and there but you don't always necessarily know what that competition level is like, right? Is that somebody that could compete at the MASL level or the reserve M2 level, you know? So it's going to be like trial by fire. Here you go. Come in with the big boys and let's see how you hang, and we'll work it out from there. A unique
That'll,
experience that most guys don't get.
that almost sounds like a better way to see if they can compete at that level as opposed to going up against other open trialists. Absolutely right. If
Yeah.
you do want to register, go to TacomaStars.com/tryouts, and you can register right there. And we will let you know what the time's going to be and confirm the date with you
Hmm.
as soon as we get cement on those information. The other
Yeah.
things that we want to talk about here, real quick, um, it's going to be a banner year for the Stars. We're looking to anthem groups, and we're looking for halftime performers. We're looking for youth clubs, youth groups, anyone that wants to be a part of a Tacoma Stars game. Go ahead and send me an email, pete@tacomastars.com. And we got room for everybody. Tacoma Stars
Yeah.
is family entertainment, and it's going to be fun to be a part of this season. Thoughts on? Oh, let me ask you a question.
Let's hear
You've
it.
been with the team. You've been in almost every arena. Favorite place on the road to coach, and the hardest place on the road to coach.
Mm. Let's see here. Well, my favorite places, surprisingly enough, are San Diego and Chihuahua. I love those trips. The hospitality, location, food, everything that goes into it. Those are my two favorite trips. Um, Obviously, two of the more difficult places to coach as well, right? San Diego and Chihuahua at home are some of the toughest, but I think one of the places I enjoy the most is probably Kansas City.
Yeah,
um there's just the atmosphere and the environment that their fans put off. There's been games like they're always a close game. It's never a you're getting blown out one way or the other. It's always down there one goals, dribble ups type of a situation. And I remember one year we were winning at halftime. I think this was 2 years ago, and we knew they were going to come out after us. It's KC, that's what they do. And just the roar from the fans before the second half kickoff, one of those situations where like the hair stands up on your arms, and I'm just like looking at the
yes.
bench like, guys, I hope you're ready for this, because the fans were behind them. It's such rich history there. It's a great place.
And so one of the things that struck me about Cable Dom Arena is how much from the inside it looks like the Acesso Showwear Center.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
can just get the Showwear Center sounding and feeling like Cable Dahmer Arena.
Oh
We're
yeah.
gonna do all right, and fans, that's what we're looking to do this year is to really get behind this team and give them the support. Because the other thing I noticed is the only time I've been in Kansas City where the Stars really struggled was at the game that was in T-Mobile Arena. It wasn't even in Cable Dahmer Arena.
Yeah.
Almost every game I've seen at Cable Dahmer Arena, it's either one or two goal win or
Yeah.
a one goal loss. It's Stars are
Yeah.
competitive in Kansas City on the blue turf.
Yes, yes, it is. It's a good one. Once again, they take care of you well. Everything's in close proximity to the arena. It does feel a little bit more like home when you're there.
Absolutely. Um, let's ask you another one here. What's it like when you do go to Kansas City? And I was on one of these. That's why I know I can ask this. You play
Hmm.
Kansas City. You get done 9:30. Jump in vans, drive 4 hours to St. Louis, and then you have a game in St. Louis. What are those trips like as a coach? I mean, there's almost no time to prepare between the two. You're either playing, driving, sleeping, or playing. What's it like
Yeah,
as a coach? How do you handle trips like that?
it's very difficult. There's not necessarily a right or a wrong way. We've learned over the years, and we've tried to like expedite things and to where there's no hiccups. But yeah, I mean, they're exhausting for me. and I'm not competing in the game. Anytime you travel, you're up in the air, you're flying, you land, you get to the hotel, you sleep, you play a tough team, you shower, and immediately get on the road and then play a midday or evening the next day. I can't express how taxing it is on you physically and mentally. So, uh, in a sense, that's another reason why we are going so young and so athletic. You need bodies that can perform back to back like that with the tough travel schedule in there. Not only you're flying, landing, playing, but then you're sitting in a van for 4 hours immediately after playing. So then you're getting tight again, like if you're on an airplane. It's very difficult. So we'll go out and load up with the essentials, your water, Gatorade, bananas, electrolytes, protein bars, stuff like that, and have dinner ready in the vans waiting for the guys when they walk out. So that way we can try and replenish them a little bit and then also let them get as much rest as they possibly can. But yeah, those are tricky. And it's like when we went to Utica a couple of years ago, and then we had to drive 5+ hours down to Harrisburg. Or you play Chihuahua at home on Friday and in Chihuahua on Saturday. Same with Empire. We've done that a couple times. Those trips are just taxing on the body, taxing on the mind. But we got some tricks up our sleeve to where we're going to try and take care of that this year.
Can't wait to see it.
Yes,
It's
sir.
been about 30 minutes, so we'll go ahead
Okay.
and wrap it up. Coach, want to thank you for coming on the Star
So,
Sideline. Excited for what's coming up. Folks, next 3 weeks, October 4th, actually next 4 weeks, October 4th, 18th, 25th, Tacoma Stars friendlies. The tryouts on the 6th, are those open to the public or no? If they're going to happen on the 6th.
yeah, and if they happen on the 6th and too many come, then we'll adjust, right? We have two fields. We can adjust and pull myself in with a trialist, and then maybe we can start to sprinkle them in with the team. But if the numbers are light, then yeah, we're going to invite them straight in with the team.
Oh, we have a comment here. Eduardo wants to know what are the requirements to join the Tacoma Stars.
Requirements. One, be a good human being. First of all, first and foremost. Second of all, you have to be talented at your trade, right? Whatever that may be. Maybe you're a defender, a goalie, someone that scores goals, someone that gets assists. There's no real, you have to do X, Y, or Z to be a star. Um, One, like I said, the first and foremost, how are you as a human being? We only want good people in our locker room, and I think we've shown that over the years with how much engagement we have with our fans and how loved our guys are throughout the entire league, wherever we go. So that would be first and foremost, and then make sure you're fit and you can play ball.
And Randy McNair says if there's too many of us show up, I can sit out. I don't mind giving up my tryout spot. Randy, your spot's locked. You don't even have to
Yeah,
try out, man.
jerseys
You
on order.
you are the target for the coming year, man. You're the new Nick Pereira. We're giving you number 10.
Yeah, we could never go into it without him or you.
What I'd like to see though is see Randy score a goal and then have to announce it himself. Our
We'll have him mic'd up under,
goal
like an NFL game. He could just speak
scored
into the
by
mic.
me.
You're number 10.
That would be
Yeah,
fun. So,
that
all
would be
right, guys.
awesome.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up here so everyone can get back to the Seahawks game. But go ahead and get your tickets October 4th, $10. Again, the 18th versus South Sound FC. Oh, one more from Eduardo I want you to see before we go. He was playing for Nito Aguila, coach. Do you remember him?
Yeah, I do. I've spent a lot of time with Nito. Yes, Luis, come on out. Shoot Coach a text. We'll take care of you.
There you go. Come on out.